It's truly quite a compelling story. At the beginning of our Parsha, Parshas Mikeitz, the stage is set and it's not pretty. An innocent Yosef is now sitting in an Egyptian prison after being framed by his master's wife. While in jail, he helped the king's butler, creating a ray of hope to be saved. But now, it's 2 years later, and it's obvious the butler has forgotten all about him. All seems lost. Suddenly, a transformation occurs in the blink of an eye. Pharaoh has a strange dream which no one can interpret to his satisfaction, and it reminds the butler that there's actually a dream interpreter languishing in the dungeon. Yosef is summoned. He interprets the dreams correctly, and almost immediately becomes the viceroy of Egypt, from the lowest of the lows to the highest of highs in such a short time. How did it happen? Good luck hardly seems to be the answer. I heard a beautiful story from the great Rabbi Yaakov Galinsky of Bnei Brak, which I believe holds the key to an incredible life lesson. During the terrible communist regime in Russia, Rabbi Galinsky was imprisoned in Siberia. Each and every morning, all of the prisoners were marched off to do a full day of back-breaking labor, and at night, they just collapsed into bed from exhaustion. Slowly, some of the men began to give in to this new existence. But there was one fellow who somehow managed to always retain his dignity, and Rabbi Yaakov wanted to know his secret. One night, the rabbi was awakened by some movement in the barracks. He saw this very prisoner get up and pull out something from under his mattress. It was a uniform bedecked with medals. The man put on his uniform, took out a mirror, looked at himself, and smartly saluted. Then he quickly changed clothes and went back to sleep. Rabbi Galinsky couldn't believe what his eyes were seeing, so he decided to stay awake the next night, and sure enough, the very same scene repeated itself. The next day, Rabbi Yaakov confronted this inmate and asked him, what was that ritual all about? The man was embarrassed at first, but then confided that before his arrest, he was a general in the Polish army. Every night, he said, I put on my uniform and I look in the mirror, so that even in this evil and decrepit place, I should never forget who I really am. I think the same was true for Yosef. The reason everything fell into place for him was because he refused to become a prisoner. Even in jail, he had the mindset of a king, with insight, wisdom, and a willingness to help others. And of course, he had faith in God that in the end, divine providence would guide him to his destiny. We must be exactly like Yosef. We can never forget that we are like royalty. When faced with our many prisons, we should never lose sight of who we really are. And then we can be sure that all will be good, all will work out. Wishing you and yours a Shabbat Shalom u'Mevarach.